Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, and today we are going to be reviewing Attack of the Beastly Babysitter. It is the 18th book from the GYG series, and this actually marks a special review for me because, well, this is actually the last Give Yourself Goosebumps book I am yet to review as of recording this, featuring a Mark Nagata cover art. Yeah, the final one. Sayonara, Mark Nagata. He did a great job with this one, I feel. I might change my opinion later. I kind of put back and forth on this one, where I truly love it or not, or like it. But I can at least say at the end of the day, the perspective on this one's very unique. But no less, the actual story is what we're here for, so let's see if it's any good. Blurb. Adventures and baby scaring. Rats, you're too old for a babysitter, but your mom hired one anyways. And that's the good news. The bad news is the babysitter works for a company called Kids Scare. So what do? If you like to play games, meet Dare. He knows some killer games, but if you lose, you'll never go home again. Forget about playing nice. Or maybe you'd rather go to the fun zone. Look out. Will you drown in the bottomless ball pit? Will you find your way out of the tomb of the unknown rat? Just one bit of advice. Whatever you do, don't eat any of that stuff marked Switch cheese. The choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure that's bagged of over 20 super spooky endings. Ooh, I shat my pants just reading that. Yummy. I mean the cheese. This is a pretty good one. Not one I would highly recommend. There's some duller aspects about this one, but no less, it's worth a read if you're actually interested in it. When it comes to which arc I prefer, I really can't pinpoint one. Yeah, they're both pretty much equal, and I'd argue that they're equally really good. As for a more particular upside, we have Dare, the character. Because there's a character just named Dare in here, and it's so random, but like, cool, whatever. Can't even complain. Because he is very cool when it comes to both design and his actual personality. He's basically just like this evil game master making us play these horrible games, the character in the book. And his design is literally just tattoos. He's literally a man made of tattoo ink, which is crazy. And that's his weakness. He's literally just tattoos. If you can somehow maybe make him get erased, or taken off, which there's a way, obviously, maybe you can defeat him. And there's some great endings that come with that, and just generally one of the most interesting ideas that I've ever seen for a villain, as well as, again, he's a very fun villain to see play out on the page. Let alone, I genuinely liked a lot of the stuff in that arc. I like it a lot when GYGs also do this thing where they have actual art within the book, not because like, oh, it makes my reading easier. It usually actually makes it longer, because you have to play a game. Like, for example, there's this little maze thing here where you have to follow the line, which is really cool. I like that type of stuff, because I'm kind of into it. The Kids Scare arc had a very good back half involving anything really below, where there's a particular scene and ending that followed I really liked, involving dead rats. God, it's gross. There's also a part where you get drafted. I'm not even kidding. You get drafted into some rat war, which is just bonkers, but it's one of my favorite endings from here, especially since it leaves off in a very stupid remark. There's some experimentation and some light body horror that I found really cool, and there's also a very nice battle sequence with the main thread, or main rat related thread of this book, which I guess could be the one on the cover, if you'd like to assume that. And yeah, it's generally just a plethora of little things, some bigger things that I really liked about this book that just add up for me. Now for some negatives. Okay, before I actually dunk on this one, I do want to point out something huge. Playful banter. I'm deducting nothing for this, but it's so annoying. I love Goosebumps, I'm a nerd for it. I know a lot of things about it. If you know one thing I really love in Goosebumps, it's The Beast from the East, the book. Now, it's a very fun book, but I wouldn't rate it like a 10 out of 10. It's like a 9. But no less, it's referenced in here quite vividly. There's a little quiz segment where you're talking to possibly a giant cat, as it's hinted at, about whether or not what color is the Beast from the East. That's literally the question. And you know what the fucking answer was? Blue. Now, to the naked eye, that sounds right, but if you read the book, it literally depends on who is playing the Beast from the East. They're not called that. That's just their role in the game. And I deadass thought I was going to pull that, little thing like, it depends on who's playing. No, it was like, yep, Beast from the East is blue. I'm not making a fuss about this. I think it's so funny. Because it's, making it so obvious this is Ghost Rin. I don't believe this was written far after Beast of the East. Maybe around, like, the late 62. And, a lot of these are actually pretty confirmed to be ghost-written or very obviously ghost-written. This is just one of them. And yeah, clearly the writer had never read the Bichonese book, or they're stupid, with all due respect. Either way, hilarious. It just gets a kick out of me. But no less, now for some actual issues. Ran the fun. Oh my fucking god. Jesus H. Criminy. Now, I love GYGs. Trust me. There's a lot of good stuff in this series. But there's also a very prevalent issue within the earlier parts of the series, or just generally, strewn throughout, I guess now I can say, but mostly in the first few books. And Randophon is that issue. The book feels a little too random, especially in the Fun and Games arc. Let me just lay it out for you like I did in Nine Werewolf Woods. Basically, you are 3 pages, this is a span of 3 pages, you are like fighting to not freeze to death, and then you're battling a dragon in a moat. What the fuck? It's just so incoherent, and whilst that arc does have a clear direction, which I can forgive it for that, you can tell where it's trying to go, because obviously you have to beat a bunch of games, it's just like, no. Stay consistent with your actual idea here, please. Just don't switch it up every few pages, or every other page. It's just so annoying. Please, stick with it. But not for a whole arc, of course. No less, Randophon was here, and it was annoying. There's a lot of endings that I think are mid, and there's really nothing to be said past that. It's really, like, no in-between either. There's one ending that I think is okay, like, pretty good. But it's all either a great, like, really gruesome or hilarious ending, or a mid, flat, didn't land, whatever ending. And sadly, there were a larger chunk of mid-endings, I would say. A good, like, maybe 12 to 15. Which is depressing, because that's obviously the whole GYG gimmick. It's a huge part of the series, is how these have multiple endings. And it's a, play your own part kind of book, where you play your way through it. So the ending is very important. It's literally advertised on all the covers, if I'm not wrong, right here. So it's like, if that part isn't very good, that's a problem. Of course, a personal problem, because it comes down to preference. But no less. For my final issue, which this isn't a huge one, but it's a general note to not fuck up your book's intro. Yeah, this is one of the worst intros I've ever seen to a GYG. It's like 10 pages total, depending on which arc you go down, of course. It can vary, but overall, it's like a 10 pages worth of intro. And it's awful. There's annoying banter between you and your sibling. There's some stupid-ass shit, like involving the discotheque, and some cringe dialogue and ideas. And it's just one of the least engaging, and utterly one of the most deterring intros I've ever seen. I already put the book down for an hour, because it was just like, this is awful. No less, the book isn't awful, so let's rate it. Overall, I give this book a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it's pretty good, almost really good, but it's just pretty good at the end of the day. It has some nice elements, some body horror, and some particularly great moments. Nothing really is sought out for. If you find it, though, read it. I recommend it enough. Hope you guys enjoyed this book review. Tell me what you think about Attack the Beastly Babysitter down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.